Now, commanding oils are good for trying to help break someone's addiction, keep someone from harming themselves or you or, others. I know you're not supposed to interfere with people's will, but if you got a cheating spouse who could, potentially bring home some kind of diseases or something, you need to leave them, or if you're going to stay with them, you need to try to fix that. Or if you've got a friend who's gambling away the rent money, you could step in. Just remember that whatever you use this oil on, it needs to be justified. You can't just randomly go out and command people against their will and not expect to get some karma for that. But this is a super, super, super simple spell. But because it is so simple and basic, you have to use what the recipe calls for. You cannot substitute. Cannot. The only thing you might be able to substitute would be the oil, the carrier oil. But again, I don't recommend it. Okay. Most of the time for my darker magic, I will use castor oil. But this is more like, to me, it's like almost a love, commanding, because out of my love for someone with the addiction, I'm trying to help them stop the addiction. Out of my love for my spouse, if that was the case, I would want to keep us both healthy, out of the person with the gambling addiction, I would want to help them be able to pay their rent, buy food for their kids, things like that, not waste their money. So back again, make sure you're justified in what you do. Okay. So what you're going to need is licorice root, not the candy. These are actually licorice vegan pills I found because I was unable to find the root, but it is licorice root and it's by Nature's Way. So it's going to work just fine. And then we're going to use calamus root powder. And this is from Star West Botanicals. You get that big bags for like $12. So you can get it on Amazon. You can go to their direct website. And I'm going to use coconut oil. You can use coconut oil, castor oil, or olive oil. I'm just going to use up the rest of my coconut oil from the batch I did the other day. And a purple candle. With that being said, let's make our oil. I have a small batch already made that I'm going to use. Because once you make this oil, you want to put it somewhere dark and let it sit for about a week before you actually use it. Same with most of my oils. You don't want to instantly use them. The Millionaire oil's fine. But especially for darker magic, you want to do on a waning moon and not a waxing moon, and let that sit in somewhere dark for a few weeks or at least a few days, and do it during, do it the waning moon cycle, a full cycle, and the next waning moon, then it would be ready to strain. But this is not a dark magic. This is a love commanding spell and we're using it for good. You can use it for other things, but like I said, if you do dark magic, you will get the consequences of it. And I normally do not like to do dark magic unless it is justified. If it's justified, witches do what they gotta do. Anyway, so all right, so now we're going to make our oil. Now remember, I'm going to make it in the bottle. I'm going to let it sit in the bottle, and then I'm going to strain it. So I'm going to take one, because I'm making a small batch. I'm taking one of the licorice root capsules, and I'm going to take just a pinch of the calamus powder. I don't have any spoons down here. I do have Palo Santo root, so I'm just going to scoop a little bit out. Now, if you get the root and not the powder, you're going to want to grind it up. Coffee grinders work great. I have an antique one I love to use for just such occasion because it's not really great for coffee beans anymore because it's old. So I'll use that. However you want to do it. Some people use mortar and pestle. But if you have root, you're definitely going to want to grind it up into a powder. So you can see I put maybe just a little bit, you know, fourth. Dark bottle. See, just a little bit down there. All right. Now we're going to take the licorice root, twist open the capsule. And pour that in. Never said magic was not messy. Now we're going to add our oil. I am doing the whole bottle of oil. Now you have to charge your oil. If you've never heard of that, it's giving your oil life. A witch's breath gives life. That's why you never blow your candles out. You always smother your candles. So I'm going to blow into here. Remember, there is powder in there, so I'm going to blow lightly to give it life. Then I'm going to massage it and mix it. And the whole time I'm going to be using intentions. My intentions to charge this. Now, you could put the oil in first so it blends a little better. I find it really doesn't matter. Or if you have some oil stuck in the bottom, you can take a little pipette and just roll it around. Because like I said, this is going to sit for about a week before you use it anyway. All right, now that it's mixed up, I'm going to set it aside, put it somewhere dark, let it sit. So now for our spell, you're going to need a brown paper bag, piece of paper. I'm still using the brown paper towels. I like them. They work great. If you don't have paper towels, any kind of brown paper bag, really thin cardboard, brown, just needs to be brown. And it doesn't have to be huge. I'm going to cut mine down here. It's small. All right, and then you're going to take a pen, black pen. You need to know the person's name. Birthday is helpful. So you're going to put name, full name, their birthday, if you know it, and what you want them to do. So if it's to help someone stop gambling, and there's gambling away the rent money, food money, write that in there. Full name, birthday, and stop gambling away rent money and food money, okay? Oh, I'm getting this oil on my tablecloth. So now you're going to take the commanding oil, not the one you just made. This is one I had. So, and you're just going to take a few little drops. Just a few little drops, okay? Now remember, you should be, and not talking like I am. You should be thinking with your intentions what you want this spell to do for that person. What do you want them to command them to do? So, John Doe, I want you to stop gambling away the rent money. John Doe, I want you to stop gambling away the food money. John Doe, I want you to be more mindful. Stop gambling away and wasting the money. Okay? So you got that. You got your petition ready. Now you're going to take your orange candle. Again, you need to etch it, if you can, with what the person's name and what you want them to do. Okay, once you got that in there, take your commanding oil, just a drop. Put it in your hand. Oi! Trying to get it on the tablecloth. And rub it on your candle. Now, some people say, do you rub it up? Do you rub it down? And as you noticed, I rubbed it like this. I rubbed it both ways. Started in the middle, went up, went down, up and down, because I'm commanding them. So I need it to go either way. And again, focus your intention before you light this candle. Sit your candle holder on top of the piece of paper. I don't happen to have one, so I made one. So you're going to put down your piece of paper with your petition. You're going to put your candle holder on top. Okay, now you got to light your candle. You're going to place it in your holder. And you're going to let it burn. You want it to burn out completely. That's why I use these smaller candles, because I want them to burn out completely, and I don't have hours and hours and hours upon end to sit here and watch them burn. So I use smaller ones to make sure that they burn in the amount of time I can be with them. After it has burnt out, you will need to bury this in something that the person that it is about cannot touch. So if it's someone that's in your household with you, like say you have potted plants or something and they help you repot the plants, do not put this in the potted plant. You know, put it in a Ziploc bag or something, tie it up in a bag, and you can bury it. Remember, don't litter though, that's terrible. Or somewhere that's going away, crossroads, so it can be taken away, because you're trying to help them with their addiction or their gambling. In this case, we were doing gambling. But you can also use commanding oil in other ways. Say you've got a court case or something coming up and you're going to be shaking hands. It's really good to just put a few drops in your hands, rub them together, because it really doesn't smell bad. This one smells just like coconut since I use coconut oil. And when you shake someone's hands, hence the commanding oil, and you think in your head, this case is going to go in my favor. If you're trying to keep a cheating spouse from cheating, and you can put it on the doorknob with your intention. So when they touch the doorknob, you know, it's a little, it's what magic is, folks. You know, if it's justified, it's okay. If it's not justified and you're just going out and hexing people and changing people's will and mind and all that, you'll pay karma for it. That's why I don't really do dark magic unless it's justified. Didn't say I don't do dark magic. I just say it has to be justified. All right, so if you have any comments or questions, please leave me a comment and I will definitely answer. But magic is magic, and if it's something that you need, it's a necessity, your guides, your gods, your deities, the universe will make sure that it'll work. You just want to give it the best chance it possibly can, I feel, by incorporating the correct moon phases. And if you don't know if moon phase is something, we can do a video on that as well. I would be happy to go over which spells are the best to do and what phase of the moon. All right, folks, if you would like me to make a particular video, I'd love to hear from you. I get a lot of my ideas from just talking to people. So yeah, share, and I will definitely make a video about it. So thanks so much for being here, Spellbound Witches Lair, and I will see you next Wicked Wednesday. Stay safe.